Coming to it. Right, morning everyone, and welcome back. And what's happening today? Well, today is Saturday night, Sunday morning, and it's got nothing to do with Albert Finney going out and getting absolutely battered. We didn't get absolutely battered last night. That was quite strange. But in terms of the bigger picture, it's coming into Sunday. The wind has dropped off enough for the Zodiac to go over and start doing lots and lots of little interesting bits of platform topside work, which is fantastic because it's got absolutely bugger all to do with us, which is how we like it. So another day of sitting around thumb up bum doing absolutely nothing, which is fun. Got up this morning to find that there was a boat alongside had taken one of our men off, well, two of our men, one supervisor and one of our number, Mr. Glenn, and brought us two air divers, Alex, who we know from before, and Pravinda, and another supervisor called Joe, who we know. So those people will be settling in and taking it nice and easy. And they probably said, oh, I've just got here, I must immediately go to bed and not do any work. So they probably will have scuttled off into the woodwork and won't be seen until tomorrow. So yeah, that's probably their plan. In the meantime, what else has happened today? Kind of just another bloody day really. It's like it just rolls into it. Sundays at home, what we would be doing is probably drinking big glasses of gin and tonic and doing bugger all else and having a nice Sunday lunch, but apparently that's not what's happening. There's a bit of relative visiting and some sandwich eating, and that's what's going on at home, which is lovely to talk to everyone. Where are we at the minute? Very close to land alongside some well. So, just another day. I was particularly inspired of the watching of on the YouTube last night on Arnold Schwarzenegger, who the movie star from Austria with the Nazi dad and everything. Seen lots of his films. Obviously he's got like 25 million followers on Facebook and social media. Anyway, he did this appeal to the Russian people saying basically trying to flip him and get rid of Putin, which I thought was quite stylish. Nicely scripted and all the rest of it. By God, he looks a bit old. He looks like the poster boy for some kind of eczema cream. This like raddled face with these two vicious looking gimlet eyes poking out. I wouldn't want to go up against him. Apparently one of his childhood heroes was this Russian weightlifter Johnny. Oh, look at that. Look how close we are to the land. See all the twinkly lights, and obviously this this horrible shit encrusted temple of misery that is a wellhead pumping out how many dollars? Millions of dollars of oil. Anyway, so yeah, coming back to the Governator, Arnold Schwarzenegger as we know him, he was basically saying to the Russians, we don't blame you, but we think your boss is a cock. Let's rise up, sort of thing. The war, as we know it, rumbles on. One set of hard-headed bastards against another, which is fair enough. I don't think there's going to be a happy end of it. What did disturb me was the serried ranks of all the pushchairs, all the dead children, which I found quite upsetting. But, you know, it's collateral damage. And war's not good for anybody. I don't know what I'd do in this same situation. Send the Memsaab and the Nipper away and bloody get up in the bell tower with the big gun. Maybe, you never know. Anyway, our tame Ukrainians on here seem to be of the opinion that sending food stuff and medical aid and everything, they don't want that, they just want more ammunition, which is quite hard. I quite like the idea of like the Ukrainian equivalent of my mum out there with a rocket launcher in a pushchair. But who knows, they don't want to give the place up, and there's not going to be any end to it. I think we fucked it up really back in 2014 when they rolled into the Crimea Peninsula and just nicked it. Again, sitting on your arse and doing nothing. Previous historical times where people have just rolled in and taken the place over was Northern Cyprus in 1974, when the old Turks came down and fucked the place up, and then they got the Green Line and the divided island and the lunacy of Famagusta. But that's politics for you. Generally I try and stay apolitical, but there comes a time when the line gets drawn in the sand and you've got to decide what your beliefs are. I'm no longer a male of fighting age, thankfully, and I've got no expectation of going there and getting in the mix. But it did make me wonder how my responses would be if I was Ukrainian in that situation. And yeah, I think I'd probably fight, make a nuisance of myself. But having been bits of it occupied since 2014, I should imagine they've been well and truly infiltrated and penetrating. There's fifth columns and spies and all sorts of unpleasantness out there, which is rubbish. You can't really fight a war on an even footing, particularly a nasty urban conflict. But yeah, the poor old Ukrainians have my sympathy for a minute. We shall raise some money for them to try and buy some more rocket launchers. That's what we'll do. Also, something that came to mind watching the BBC News, which is not the most impartial of media, is seeing that bastard Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister. Basically, if you see a Russian on TV at the moment, like these jokers up here, yeah, have a look at him. Anything that comes out of the mouth is just a load of party lies. Just absolute twaddle. It's all just yip, 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 yip until the fighting stops. And basically stop the fighting, pull back. So how can we stop the fighting then? Well, the school of thought of we've got to make it easier for the Russians to surrender, give them an option. Recently I read a very interesting book called War Games, which is about the psychology of war. And to win the war, you're not going to kill all the enemy, you've just got to give the enemy a way to stop fighting and surrender and make it easier for them to just jack, basically. So you can't really surrender to an attack helicopter, but if a bunch of Red Cross people and friendly infantry turned up with flamethrowers, it's like, are we going to fight or are we just going to throw our hands up in the air? I'll throw my hands up in the air, I'll go over there for a cup of tea. That's a much better survival instinct. And also, when they surrender, surrendering can be a bit of an infectious act. If one lot surrender, then the other lot might surrender, and before you know it, the whole column will throw their hands up. But I'm not running the war, I'm not in charge. In fact, I'm hardly in charge of anything. And my levels of responsibility are perhaps diminished these days. So yeah, the poor old war in Ukraine. So I keep following, and in the meantime we've got our usual nonsense of the crossword, watching YouTube, finishing off my ghillie blanket, which it's actually looking great now, and just trying to stay on top of it. Food at the moment has been rubbish. Breakfast this morning was constituted of some halloumi cheese and a chocolate milkshake. So I don't suppose we're doing badly, are we? But yeah, as a treat today, maybe, if we watch a bit of a movie, we might have some popcorn. I know what you're thinking, it's a vida loca. Sometimes it's just like that. Anyway, onwards and upwards.
Takes both my hands.